Thanks, Ty.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, you want to sit down?
Yeah.
Right up front. Alrighty. Welcome, everybody. Tonight is going to be an awesome topic considering everything that's happened in the last 24 hours and in real estate and in just getting to this class. How many of you guys are active real estate investors right now? See a show of hands, about a third of you. How many of you guys have done at least one deal? Anybody done? Okay, good. A few more. Part of what we do as a NextGen REI Club is we recognize those that are active in real estate and are actually doing something. What's the first thing you got to do, or one of the most important things that you got to do in order to invest in real estate? Can anybody tell me? Yeah, you guys are good. So the reason these guys know that is because they've been coming to these meetings. These meetings are very, very important for your real estate investment career. Because if you don't make an offer, you don't buy real estate. So how many of you guys are brand new, first time here? Awesome, awesome. Every meeting we ask a question. How many of you guys in the last 30 days had made an offer on a piece of real estate? See a show of hands? Awesome. So we're going to reward these guys. Just a little reward. This is a lifesaver because real estate can be a lifesaver. So please see your hands again. Real estate can be your lifesaver if you actually do it. How many of you guys are working full-time jobs? Or working at all? Okay. And how many of you guys have a retirement that you know that you're going to have at the end of your career? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know 100% for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that retirement is going to be there. See hands again? Okay. So still a few hands. That's good. Must work for the government. I used to be a letter carrier at the post office. I could have retired. I found $175,000 in a mailbox at one time. Well, I probably wouldn't have retired. I would have got, maybe. They don't give you 3 meals, they give you 2. And it's not really a soft bed, but you do get a bed. So yeah, I had a government job. I actually had a couple of different government jobs. I was in the Air Force as well. And did a few things after that. I logged for a while. I've done a lot of different things, but real estate is really my passion. I've always wanted to do real estate. And so that's why we started this club, is to really, I knew that, way back in the 80s, I'm a little older than I look. I actually graduated in the 80s. But in the 80s, late 80s, I wanted to get into real estate. But I actually didn't do it until 2004, and I just wanted to do it. How many of you guys can relate to that? You just know that this is something that you want to do, and you just can't quite make that transition. Does that kind of speak to some of you guys? So that's why we formed this club, is to help you guys make that transition. There's a lot of training out there. How many of you guys have done some of that training? The gurus that come into town, you spend $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, come to the next thing, you get this package, that package. Next thing you know, you're spending $80,000 on training. Okay, you guys done that? Okay, I probably got most of you guys beat combined in the amount of money that I've spent on training in the last 10 years. Last time I calculated it was over $100,000. So I know a lot about real estate investing, and I know a lot about not taking action. And that's why we have this club, is to help you take action. So tonight what we're going to talk about, well, actually before we do that, how many of you guys, so you guys made some offers. Did anybody get any offers accepted or closed in the last 30 days? Ty, yeah? You don't count. Okay, I'll give you a candy bar.
No.
You want to tell the deal?
No candy. That's too far of a throw for you, but I know you got that.
Hey, I can do it. I've been working it out. Okay, so we recognize you if you'd make offers and if you close some deals, because making an offer is great, but you got to get to the point of closing it. So congratulate you guys. Give those guys a hand that made offers. But you got to close deals in order to make money in real estate. So what we're going to talk about tonight, well, actually, before I get it totally into the topic of tonight, I want to tell a little bit more about the club. Here's some websites that are very important for you to know. The first one is a meetup website, which how many of you guys found us because of the meetup website? Okay, great. This is the one that if you RSVP on this website, it tells us how many people are going to be here. And if you do it soon enough, we may be able to find a different location if we have a lot of people that RSVP in. So I checked it the other day, and you know, we were right at borderline of should we find another location or not. But so it's really important that if you're going to come to the meeting, please RSVP and let us know. So maybe Tyler and I can come in and do some remodeling, knock out a wall or something, and in the next 30. You know, we can do that. We're real estate investors. Okay, that's a lot of what we do. Okay, the second website. I'm surprised Tyler didn't do the shameless plug on that one. That he runs our luncheon. It's a monthly luncheon that we do. So tonight is a meeting that we teach you guys about real estate investing. The luncheon is really where you guys can get to know each other in a more informal format. And then the fourth Thursday is the same meeting in Coeur d'Alene. So if you guys are coming from Coeur d'Alene, well, hey Phil, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Good to see you.
See you too.
The fourth Thursday is a meeting in Coeur d'Alene that we have. It's the same meeting, but if you come from Coeur d'Alene and you'd like to attend the meeting in Coeur d'Alene instead of coming here, we have that happening. The only time we don't have it happen is when we have a speaker that comes into town, like John Burley or some other speaker from out of town that we have a special meeting. Then we'll combine the two meetings into one meeting. The fourth website here is our group email forum. How many of you guys are on that? Anybody on that? You guys? Somebody was asking me about a wholesale deal when it came in. You were asking. Okay. I mean, you guys are interested in investing in real estate and have trouble finding a property? Anybody have trouble finding properties? Okay, go to this website, join. When you join, make sure you let us know that you're from Spokane. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to be an official paid member of NextGen REI Club. Join that website because there's a lot of information that goes on that website. What it is, and you have to have a Yahoo email, but you don't have to use your Yahoo email. What it is, it's basically an email listserv. Is that, I guess, a good way to put it? It's a group, a Yahoo group, and there's about 430 some odd, 450 investors in the Spokane area that are on that. There's a lot of wholesalers that shoot out deals that say, hey, I got a property, here's what it's all about, and the first one to call me with the earnest money or whatever gets it. So I bought a lot of property from wholesalers over the years. I'm really, really busy, and a lot of times I don't have the opportunity to go out and find properties on my own, so I'll pay a wholesaler. You guys know what a wholesaler is? Who does not know what a wholesaler is? Anybody? Okay, most of you guys do because that's what all the gurus teach. Wholesale, be a wholesaler. That's how you get into real estate. So I pay a lot of money to wholesalers to bring me deals. The fourth link on here, I mentioned John Burley just a moment ago. John Burley, does anybody know who or does anybody not know who John Burley is? Put it that way. Okay. Has anybody read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Okay. When Robert Kiyosaki talks about investing in real estate, he doesn't invest in real estate. John Burley is his joint venture partner who invests in real estate. He's one of the rich dads in the book. The book is not a true story. That didn't really happen when he was little, growing up and had a rich dad and a poor dad. It's a great book. It's a great read. But John Burley, that's who John Burley is. He's my mentor. He's the one that has been teaching me how to do what I do. And he's having an event. How many of you guys were here at the Thanksgiving, the November event meeting that we had here? We were talking about the new laws with Dodd-Frank and, okay, a few of you guys. So there's a lot of laws, a lot of things that have changed in legislation. It's really important if you're going to be, like Tyler was talking about, if you're going to be a real estate investor, to understand the laws around this craft of real estate investing so you don't get yourself in trouble. Dodd-Frank is something that passed a few years ago, and a lot of things that are affecting the way we invest in real estate. Well, John Burley is having an event March 22nd and 23rd in Phoenix, and it's $297 for 2 people. That's an awesome value if you can get to John Burley. Now, if you are a NextGen member, you get a discount off that. John and I are still working. I mean, he just announced this last night. I talked to him on the phone. He actually sent me he texted me a video. I couldn't figure out how to get it from here to there to show you guys. So he did a video. Hey, Spokane, this is John Burley. Welcome. Once you come to the event. But if you go to this website, it has all the information about the event, about Dodd-Frank, about what he's going to be teaching. Just a little bit more information about John Burley. He wrote, who's the funny hair guy? Investor, rich. Trump, yeah. Thanks. Donald Trump. Donald Trump asked John Burley to write 3 chapters in his latest book that he wrote. Robert Allen asked John Burley to write chapters on money and real estate in a lot of his books. So John Burley is very much sought after. Another exciting announcement is, in talking with John, he's going to Singapore with Nick Vujicic in June and doing a big conference over there. And then he's talking about coming here in Spokane in July or August. So I'm going to see if I can get him here in July. But he promised me he's going to come one of those 2 months. So that is really exciting. If you're a member of NextGen, then, because he charges for the meeting and everything, but if you're a member of NextGen, you can get a little bit of a discount on that as well. So,
Hey, Chris?
yes.
One thing about that, it said on his website today that the ticket prices go up after tomorrow night. So this is a good time to talk about it.
Right. Yeah. So if you definitely make sure that you register through the NextGen link, because if you register through the NextGen link, he's going to let me know. And we're working out the discount that we'll give you. What it will be is a cashback discount. So you'll pay for the event, and then we will give you a cashback discount of whatever John and I are able to work out. So we haven't got it worked out yet. I mean, he literally. Were you on the webinar with John? Yeah. Okay. So it was a good webinar. I was on that last night as well. So I was on the webinar last night. So a little bit about. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my last 24 hours. So I've had this topic that I wanted to teach on since the last our meeting that we had on goals and just really moving your business forward, right? And I've just been formulating some things in my mind. Had an awesome speaker at our church a couple of weeks ago that talked on the same subject that I've been thinking about, so I stole a lot of his material. I went up and told him, I said, thank you, because I'm going to steal a bunch of your material. So I did the webinar. I went on the webinar last night, and I've been putting this stuff together. I've been asking for before and after pictures from different investors, so I'm putting all this stuff together. I got this cool presentation going. I get on this webinar. I'm working on the presentation late till like 1:30 last night. I finally, my wake up, I got keyboard prints on my forehead because I can't stay awake. Hitting my, in case you guys didn't get that. So I get up early this morning, take the kids to school, and I go out and I'm going to put the final touches on my presentation. And it's gone. I can't find my presentation. I don't know what happened. My computer rebooted, not this, I have a desktop. It rebooted overnight, and I didn't save. I thought I saved, but I just saved one slide, and so I didn't. So I had to rebuild this whole thing. All my notes, everything are right here. I didn't have them on a Word document or anything like that. So I'm just like, oh, I cannot believe this. This topic that we're going to talk about tonight plays right into what happened. Who can tell me what that acronym means? Anybody? If you've been coming here for a while, I'm like going to pound this thing into your head almost. I talk about it all the time. Who knows? Who can tell me what this means? What's T? Anybody?
Thoughts.
Say again?
Thoughts.
Thoughts. Awesome. You get a lifesaver. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you sign?
I'll never find it in there.
Did you sign? You did sign the waiver on your way in, right? Okay, let's see if I got enough. There we go. Thoughts. Okay, let's go with this here. Thoughts. And then the next one. Feelings. Get another one. Next one. Actions.
Oh, that's a guess.
Good guess. Here you go, Seth. My brother's name's Seth. Good name. Actions. Last one. Oh man, that was like. All right, you ready? Results. Okay, your thoughts lead to your feelings, which lead to your actions, which lead to results. This right here is what everybody focuses on. They focus on the results. This right here is what all the gurus get you into the room. Flip a deal and make $40,000. Come to my seminar and I'll show you how to put $20,000 in your pocket in the next 60 days. Right? They focus on this right here because that's what everybody wants. Isn't that what you guys want?
Yes.
Challenge is nobody really talks about this right here, and actually something that comes even a little bit before that, which is kind of, it's P. P is your,
Preparation.
Programming. So tonight I'm going to try, my hope is I can reprogram your thoughts. That is what our focus is going to be on tonight, is your thoughts. If you hang around me long enough, you'll hear me talk about rehabbing real estate. How many of you guys know what rehabbing real estate is? Okay, what is it? Give me, somebody throw some out.
Cleaning out the old, making it fresh and new.
Clean out the old, make it fresh and new, right? Like Scott was saying, though, the first piece of real estate that you need to rehab is the real estate between your ears. If you don't rehab the real estate between your ears, you will never be successful in this or really anything else that you do, because we have what's called our habits, H-A-B-E-S, our habits, attitudes, beliefs, expectations. You got to change those habits, your habits. So what I want to talk about tonight is our thoughts. We're going to focus on our thoughts. Negative invaders of the mind. So what are some of these negative invaders? Anybody? What's that?
Television.
Television? Yeah, that's true. Let's see if I can. Okay, so television, TV, fears,
Mother-in-laws.
fears, relatives, what is it? Where's spell check? Hey, what are some other negative, anger, right? Anger can be, right? Procrastination. So procrastination and relatives, procrastination. Okay, these. There you go, like a doctor. Let's see, depression. Guilt. Fear. We got fear. What are some other negative?
The I know mentality.
No,
I don't know what that is. I don't know what you call that, but it's, you can't be open to anything new if you know.
close-mindedness.
Know it all. The know-it-all. So here's the thing. Nobody's immune to this. Everybody on the planet suffers from this. We're all bombarded from this with these negative emotions, these invaders of the mind. One writer said, "You are today where your thoughts have brought you, and you will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you." Does that make sense? And the challenge is, on our thoughts, have you ever heard of somebody say, I lost my train of thought? All right? It's like, I lost my train of thought. The problem is, we get on the wrong train. And you're at the terminal, and these trains are going by, and you hop on this train of thought that is maybe a fear-ridden thought, and it takes you to some place where you don't really want to go. Cleveland. Yeah, that's right. To Cleveland. Every day, we get on a train of thought without asking, where is this train going? Worry. That's one. That's a good one. One of my mentors said, worry is like sitting in a rocking chair, rocking back and forth and expecting to go someplace. And you're not getting anywhere. So worry is a great example of the wrong train of thought. The challenge is, it's kind of like, you're sitting there in this terminal, this train station, and we don't even think about it. We just hop on the train because of whatever happens in life. Like, I get up in the morning, and my presentation's gone. I literally wanted to just sit there and cry and take my computer and throw it through the window. And I'm thinking, I'm teaching on this. I got to put the right thoughts back into my mind. I know it's going to cause some challenges today, but I have to put the right thought into my mind. I have to make the conscious choice of what train I am going to get on. The challenges are programming. We talked about the programming, and sometimes our programming causes us to not get on that right train of thought. So the good news is you can stand at that terminal and make the right choice and get on the right train. So here's something, a statistic that came across the other day. Foreclosures on deeds of trust in Spokane County in 2013, record level. 1,211 foreclosures last year in Spokane. So you got to find a way to get on the right train of thought. Somebody could look at this and think that and get on a train of thought that's really negative. Maybe somebody was part of that statistic in the last several years. You look at this and you start getting real negative about it. Or you can take a look at something like this and say, this is what happened. Things happen. It's kind of, the analogy, the cup is half full or half empty. Okay, the cup has liquid in it, and it is half full or half empty. It's what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the fullness of the cup or the emptiness of the cup? And that's your thoughts. Something like this, I look at this and I go, who can tell me what this means to, what's this mean to anybody?
Opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity. I also look at this and I go, wow, I'm a licensed agent. I probably could have listed some of those properties. A little bit of missed opportunity. But I'm not going to get negative about it. I'm going to go, okay, I need to look at what's coming down the pike. Maybe this next year. And who knows? Maybe there will be a lot less this year because this was a really low year, so the banks just held off on a bunch of properties and then pushed them all out. But you're exactly right. It's opportunity. This is a way to get on the right train of thought, seeing that this is opportunity. Tyler was talking about REOs. And REOs last year were very difficult. I mean, I bought a few of them that were REOs, But last year it was, it was a bidding war. You guys bought an REO, Sherry, right? Which on Grace, which I had the contract on, and how's that going, by the way?
It's done. It's on the market. It's been on the market about 3 weeks.
Awesome. Good job. Great property.
It turned out wonderful too.
We'll have to,
Everybody wants to see it. It's through Raymax. Yep.
we'll have you guys talk about that at our next meeting, maybe what happened on that. So 2013 was a lot of foreclosures, but in 2012 there was only 682 foreclosures, which means that in 2013 there weren't a lot of REOs. Because do you guys understand what an REO is? No. Okay, so an REO is an acronym for real estate owned. And it's the department in the bank that when they foreclose on a piece of real estate, that's where it goes. It goes into the REO department. So what happens is banks are not in the business of owning real estate, so they put it back out on the market. They want to sell it. It's not a positive asset for them. It's a negative. They want to get rid of it as soon as possible. So that's what an REO is. When a bank forecloses on 1,200 properties, a record number of properties since 2007, and I think that's a history in the history of Spokane County. That's a record. When they foreclose on 1,211 properties, that means there's going to be a lot of properties that are coming back on the market as REOs. So there could be a huge opportunity in 2014 for purchasing REO properties. Seeing things like this is one way to get on the right train of thought. So let's talk about thoughts. Let's bring it back to thoughts. You got to understand that thoughts are like a lion. Now, when you look at that, you can think, that thing's coming to eat me. Or it could be a positive thing. That thing's protecting me. So you have two lions inside of you that are fighting. They're waging a war inside of you. One is faith and one is fear. Does that make sense? Faith and fear. So this lion represents both faith and fear. Faith and fear cannot occupy the same space at the same time. If you feed the lion of faith and you starve the lion of fear, pretty soon that lion of fear will get weak and die. Now, you will always have some fear. Fear is not a bad thing necessarily, but controlling that fear in your life will help you guys make offers on property. Why is it that everybody knows that real estate is a great way to supplement your income? I'm going to show a slide a little bit later that talks about millionaires and how many millionaires are owning real estate. So somebody that has $1 million or more net worth, it's a huge percentage of them that own real estate. We all know that fundamentally in our mind, but why don't we take action? Anybody? Fear. It's that war going inside. Is this kind of hitting home with anybody? So you guys are all here because you want to buy real estate, right? And so and we have classes that we're going to show you numbers and how to buy real estate and how to put the deal together. But if you don't get over the fear, it doesn't matter how good of a deal it is. That lion of fear will take over. And you will get on that train of thought that you worry about what's going to happen if it goes sideways. I've had deals go bad. They do. It happens. It's real estate. You get angry about maybe some of the decisions that you've made. But you can't get on that train of thought. You have to have faith. The challenge is we're constantly bombarded. All TV, our relatives, all kinds of things, thoughts. I mean, you could be sitting here right now and you're thinking about the roast that's in the oven or whatever, and not even focusing on this. So our mind thinks way faster than what you're able to hear what I'm saying. So you keeping your guys' attention even is a challenge in a meeting like this. So it takes focus, and it takes intensity, but discipline, memory. I'm gonna get it. Huh? Tenacity. I'll think about it in a second. The word that was right there. Concentration. Purpose. I mean, purpose is another word for purpose is what I was looking for. But so how do we get faith? Well, first we got to understand that faith is really fickle. It's a challenge. Faith is here one moment and it's gone the next. As a matter of fact, you guys heard the story. There's a story in the Bible about Jesus. He walks on the water, right? Do you guys know that Jesus wasn't the only one that ever walked on the water? You guys know that? Who else walked on the water? Peter, huh? David Copperfield did too. Yeah. Peter walks on the water. So Jesus is coming out. He's on the water, and Peter sees him, and he says, "Jesus, if that's you, bid me to come to you." So Jesus says, "Come." So Peter hops out of the boat, and he starts walking on the water. He has faith to get out of the boat, in the water, and then he looks and sees the storm around him, all the things that are happening, and he loses faith. And what happens? He sinks. He goes down. Faith is gone like that in a moment. Why? What happened? Fear, which is what? Thoughts, right? He got on the wrong train. He didn't manage the train station. He didn't manage where he was with his thoughts. He took his focus off of where he was going, his purpose. He got off of that train and got on a different train, which caused him to not go where he needed to go. And what did Jesus say? Anybody know the story? He says, "Oh, you of little faith." He says, and he reaches down and he pulls him up. I'm like, wow. Oh, you of little faith? I mean, I thought he had a lot of faith to get out of the boat to begin with. And, that's a lot of faith to hop out of the boat. And I don't know, man. I mean, because it was a storm as it was. So if you have moments of no faith, don't get on the wrong train of thought. Things happen in life. But that's the word I was looking for. I should have put it in my presentation so I wouldn't forget it.
You probably did the first time.
I did the first time, yeah. If you get on the wrong, or things happen, just like I lost my presentation this morning, but I had to stay on the right train of thought. I had to have faith. Okay, I'm gonna put this together. Not answer my phone. I got 1,000 things that are going on, but I'm gonna make this happen. Real estate's the same way. To have sustaining faith is critically important in your life. Having faith that sustains you, because it's fickle, right? You can lose it real easy. So you gotta have. There's got to be a way that you can keep your faith. Real estate can be very challenging. How many of you guys think real estate's easy? Okay, good. How many of you guys think real estate's hard? It is. It can be very hard. It can be very challenging. It can be very easy too. Sometimes the deals just come along and boom, it makes it happen. But having faith. One of the things that helped me to finally get into real estate was I watched this movie called The Edge, and in it Anthony Hopkins is fighting this. His plane crashed and he fights this. He's out in this Alaskan wilderness and he's with another guy, and this grizzly bear, this man-eater, is coming to attack them. And Anthony Hopkins says, "What one man can do, so can another," and that's how they ended up, fending off the grizzly bear and finally getting rescued. What he said in that movie is, what one man can do, so can another. And he learned that the natives were able to fend off the grizzly bears, and he figured, well, if they can do it, I can do this. And that's why I learned about real estate. That's what helped me sustain some of my faith in real estate, is that, hey, these people can do this. I can do this. I can't even hardly spell. I can't write very well. But I can do real estate if these other people can do it. So how can you have sustaining faith? Well, there's this acronym. This is one of the things that I got from church a couple weeks ago that I was just like, man, that is powerful. That is awesome. And the acronym for faith is F, focus on the positive. Talking about the glass, right? Half full, half empty. There's always positives and negatives. But you have to get on the train of focusing on the positive. You have to be intentional. That was the word. Intentional. You must be intentional about what you do. Intentionally get on the train of the positive because bad things are going to happen. How many of you guys have ever had anything bad happen to you? Okay. Okay, good. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share a text with you. So I was texting with John Burley today, and just some of the challenges that I'm going through, and he says, remember, the Bible tells us to be grateful for everything. It's all part of His plan. Good and bad, the tough make us stronger. And then he says, breakthrough happens every day for Christians. Stay in the faith. And I'm like, wow, this is what I'm talking on today. Because I'm just talking about some of John Burley is a mentor of mine. If you don't have a mentor, get a mentor. And those are things that mentors do for you. Is they help you get on the right train. Sometimes it's really difficult to stay on that right train. And this text was like, okay, focus on the positive, focus on the positive. Yeah, I lost everything. And then I'm driving here. I get down the road. I'm like, oh, I forgot my thing. I pull up here and I totally forgot my projector. Yeah, thank you. But I can invest in real estate. I can't talk, but I can invest in real estate, see? So focus on the positive. So this acronym here is going to help you have sustaining faith. How many of you guys want to be real estate investors? For real. You guys want to be real estate investors? Okay. Focus on the positive. Next thing is affirm yourself. Affirm yourself. I know people that have grown up and their parents have spoken bad words over them their whole life, and that's who they think they are. People will speak bad things over you, but that's not who you are. God does not create trash. So I am a Christian, by the way, and I do speak a little bit about from the Bible. So this isn't church, but I just want you guys to know that's where where I come from. So I don't mean to offend anybody if you want to call it the universe or whatever, but my sustaining faith comes from God. So anyway, God doesn't create trash. Nobody is a mistake. Everyone has purpose. So, but you got to affirm yourself. Even the Bible talks about, it says, let the weak say, I am strong. You know what that means? They're weak. The Bible says, let the weak say, I am strong. So when I first got started in real estate investing, you know what I did? What's your name? Pardon?
Marielena.
Marliana.
Yes.
Oscar. Hi, Oscar. My name's Chris. I am a real estate investor. What do you do?
I will be a real estate investor.
I will be a real estate investor.
Am a real estate.
I am a real estate investor. Marliana, how you doing? I'm a real estate investor. Say that.
I am a real estate investor.
I am a real. If you don't want to be a real estate investor, then don't say it. But if you want to be a real estate investor, you got to affirm yourself. Just like this building here was built twice. You guys understand that? You understand that concept? This building was built twice. Did I lose anybody? Victoria, help me.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. What's in the mind that conceived it and then when it was physically done?
She gives credit to Napoleon Hill, but actually it originally came out of the Bible. So a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. Right? True. Napoleon Hill, actually most self-help books come from the Bible, but Napoleon Hill made it, you conceive it in your mind first, then you build it. This building was built on paper first. They put the plans together, and then they built it. You have to affirm yourself that you are a real estate investor. Build it in your mind first. Affirm yourself. Imagine the good. Imagine the good that's going to happen. When I'm praying and I'm just trying to get through the day of some things that happen, when you become a real estate investor, things happen. John Burley, my mentor, he talks about as he's mentoring people and talking about the problems, and this person called about this problem, and that person called about this problem, and this challenge they had in their life, and John says, that's my Tuesday. As you get into real estate investing and you start acquiring a lot of properties, things happen. Bad things happen. Imagine the good. That doesn't mean that you don't fix the bad. If you got a flat tire, don't just imagine that it's going to be automatically aired up. Go fix the flat tire. But imagine the good. Maybe I got a flat tire because there was an accident down the road that avoided me from getting in that accident. Maybe I lost my presentation because I had to put different words here to help you guys. I don't know. But I want to get on the right train of being positive, because faith cannot exist where negativity exists. Does that make sense? Okay. Now for me, the T is trust God in all things. If you're not a Christian, you don't believe in God, trust in whatever it is you believe in. A lot of self-help books talk about the universe or whatever it is, but trust in all things. Trust God in all things, but you got to trust. If you have no trust, you ever met somebody that just didn't trust anybody or anything? I mean, you just didn't even want to be around that person. It's like you can't hardly talk to them. They just don't trust anything. So trust, for me, I trust God in all things. He's my provider. I trust God. I trust in all things. And then hope for the best. H is hope for the best. So that's how I can trust, because I'm hoping for the best. So this is how it is, If you think about this, you guys write this down, this is really good. This is how you have sustaining faith, is by, I lost my whole presentation. Okay, I'm going to focus on the positive. Focus on the positive. Faith. F. Focus on the positive. Okay? Another real estate, an agent, oh, you're one of those scumbag real estate investors that takes advantage of people and steals all their money. Affirm myself, I am a good guy. I do the right thing. Bad things happen, but I do try and do the right thing. Imagine the good. That's okay. I got the next great deal is coming right around the corner. Trust God in all things. He's going to bring me something. He's going to bring me a good, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. I was talking to John today, and he said, no, I wasn't talking to him. He was on the webinar. And he said he did this deal, and he got a $300,000 assignment fee. I'm like, yes! That's where I'm at. How many of you guys want a $300,000 assignment fee? Would that change anybody's life? If you don't imagine it, that it can happen, it will not happen. You have to be engaged. Be involved in real estate. Have faith that it's going to happen, and it will happen. I told the story at the last meeting about in 2010 where things were just, oh man, 2008 was tough. A lot of carnage. I've made it through 2009. 2010, beginning 2010, my wife says, if you don't do something in real estate this year, if we can't come out of this, you're out. No more real estate investing. I love real estate. It's a passion. I love it. It's, I know it's tough. I'm going to focus on the positive. So that year, I was trusting that things would turn around. I had a lot of hope for the best. And a deal came across my plate that I made $52,000 on in one deal in 28 days. Bought it, rehabbed it, and flipped it in 28 days. Now, I got to admit that rehab was pretty light. cut some shrubs down. I didn't do anything on the inside. Maybe I might have cleaned up a little bit of trash, mowed the lawn, and that was it. But I got a really good deal on it. But hope for the best. And that's how, so that's how you have sustaining faith, is taking this acronym, and if that train is going by and you're tempted to get on the wrong train, focus on the positive. Affirm yourself. Get on the right train. Am I hitting home with anybody here? Is that making sense? Yeah. So, faith is an exterminator of mind monsters. These are all mind monsters. And faith will exterminate the mind monsters. That's why you want to have faith. We're talking about TFAR. Thoughts. Okay? Our thoughts, if you have faith, having faith will help you have the right thoughts to help you get on the right train. And if you have these, everybody has mind monsters, but if you have faith, it will exterminate these mind monsters. Faith and worry cannot occupy the same space at the same time. We said that earlier. Negativity is constantly bombarding our mind. So you gotta do the right things. You gotta stay focused on the right things. Okay, so did you guys write down that acronym? Okay, awesome. So the better we are at holding on to the moments of faith, the better we are able to fight off the mind monsters. Okay, so faith is fickle, right? It's here and it's gone, so you got to hold on to those moments. So I'm going to show you guys some things in a little bit to help you guys in real estate have some faith. In real estate, understanding how we improve the community and helping the economy will help you develop some sustaining faith. So thoughts, faith, feelings. So here's something that if you guys can understand what we do as real estate investors, we are needed as real estate investors. You are needed. Our community needs you. So have the faith to go out and do it because the community needs you. Why? You guys, how many of you guys live in a house? Apartment or a structure, or live next to a house? Okay. So, how many of you guys have seen a house or a structure nearby where you live that's just like, would somebody burn that thing down? Yeah, we all have, right? We as real estate investors are the people that go out and take care of those things for our community. We beautify our community. Sherry. And it feels good when you're done. And what's that give you? Faith. That you can do it again. Sherry, Dave, right? And Dave are relatively new investors, done a few deals. And it feels good. When you take something like this, how come you didn't send me before and after pictures? So I asked for before and after pictures from investors in our club. So that's what I'm going to go over, what I'm going to show you guys. I want to help you guys develop some faith. We're going to just look at some before and after pictures. Here's before, here's after. This is an investor in our club. And what they did. You guys see that okay? Sorry. If you guys want to come over here a little bit. Okay. Or you can look on the laptop. How about this one? I'll get down here. And look at that. Faith building. I'm going to help you guys build some. These are properties in Spokane, Washington that investors in our club have worked on. Here's the inside. Now this one, okay, I got to tell you guys a story on this property. This is an investor in our club, and she's actually a student of mine. I do some coaching and mentoring. And they called me up, and they had this property on a lease option, I think. And it didn't go very well for them. The tenant, I can't remember the whole story. She was going to be here tonight, but couldn't make it. But their faith was really low. And they got in there and just, they trashed it. Things just didn't look, I mean, that happens in real estate. I mean, everybody takes perfectly good care of your property, don't they? So their faith was really low. And budget was real low. They didn't have a lot of money. So I got in there and I was like, look, we can do this. This is no big deal. Let's just, and I helped them pull the floor. We just pulled it up and because it was rotting out and they needed to do some work. And we just got in there and I said, come on, let's just do it. And we just started pulling it up. And cause I could just see that her husband was just, he was just like, oh, I can't believe this, and just really down about this, about what was going on with this property. And, how are we ever going to fix this? It's just a total mess. And what are we going to do? And so we went in and yeah, it's a mess. You start pulling up the floors and start fixing things. And that's what it looked like after they were done. That builds a lot of faith. I mean, you look at that and you stand back, like Sherry was saying, you stand back, it's like, wow, this looks good. This is nice. You did a really good job on that. Here's another house. That's what it looks like afterwards. Is that beautifying our community? Not only that, it helps our economy. Because we're taking properties that are distressed, that people aren't, somebody had to paint that. That paint had to come from somewhere, so they had to buy the paint. Well, when somebody buys something, that helps our economy. They also probably had to hire somebody to paint it, so somebody got paid. So that person that got paid probably pays taxes. You see how you as real estate investors really help our economy? You beautify our community. So having faith is really, really important. Here's what part of this property. So the house is right over here. And then that's what it looks like afterwards. Here's a property. Recognize that one? That's after. Yeah.
That truck come with the house.
That was one of the workers. I couldn't believe that's a truck he drove to work. So this house here, this is one that I did, and it was, the basement was totally flooded out and moldy, and we had to gut the basement. It was a total mess.
How'd you stop the basement leaking?
Fix the plumbing.
Fine.
That's what it looked like on the inside. So this is the living room from that kitchen that we just showed you. That's what it looks like after we're done. Here's another one. So some of these properties we just did this last year. So would you rather live next to this house or this house?
I don't know, the other one's better.
That's what the kitchen looked like. That's what it looked like afterwards. Before, after. So we took out this, took out the wall, the chimney, the cabinets, and did that. And here's from the other side. Here's what the front room looked like. Or the front room. That's after.
Get rid of the couch.
Yeah, we thought about, that actually sat on the front porch for the longest time. The contractor, he wanted it, or he knew somebody that wanted it. And so during the whole rehab, it sat there. I'm like, is somebody going to take that stupid couch off the porch and get rid of that thing? They just reupholstered it. Yeah. Okay. So I want to wrap up with this. Oh, actually, I think I might have another. This is an article at Bloomberg. Millionaires see real estate as the top investment for 2014. About 77% of investors with at least $1 million in assets own real estate. Own real estate. So let's get on the right train. Oh, if I was a millionaire, I could own real estate. Is that the right train?
No.
What's the right train?
If I own real estate, I'll be a millionaire.
That's what I'm thinking. Wow, if I want to be a millionaire, then I need to have about 77% of, I need to have a bunch of my assets in real estate, because 77% of millionaires have their assets in real estate. So, according to a survey released today by a New York-based investment bank's wealth management unit, direct ownership of real estate and commercial properties was the #1 alternative investment pick for 2014. The #1 pick. The second pick was REITs, real estate investment trusts. The challenge that a lot of people that have $1 million in assets, the challenge that they have is, if you have $1 million, do you want to, oops, wrong. Do you want to deal with that? That? No, you don't. But they want to own it. And that's where we come in as real estate investors. We can help investors, these investors, own this. Wealthy investors are returning to rebounding real estate market as fixed income yields remain historically low and equities surge. So what I want to impart to you with this slide is there's a lot of money out there available for real estate investors. Have faith in what it is that you do and help the economy, help the community, and help investors. So this is what I'm gonna wrap up with, is these mind monsters that we have that come in and are constantly bombarding us. The first thing we need to do is recognize that we have these mind monsters. Everybody has them. The mind monsters in your own life, well, actually, let me back up. Recognizing that we have mind monsters is important, because a lot of times what we do is we recognize the mind monsters that somebody else has, the negativity that somebody else has. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I was driving around with my wife the other day, and she's just like, "You are being so negative." And I'm a pretty positive person. But it's just, tenants not paying and bouncing checks and all these things that are happening, and I just started getting on the wrong train. And she's like, "You are being really negative." And I didn't recognize, I'm like teaching people to be positive, I'm coaching people to be positive, and here I am being really negative, and I'm going down the wrong train. I'm going down the road on the wrong train. So my wife helped me to recognize that I had some mind monsters that were getting in the way, and negativity. And if I would have been a know-it-all and said, "Oh, I teach this stuff, I coach people, I'm not negative, I'm the most positive person you ever met," I wouldn't have gotten on the right train. So it's really important to do self-evaluation and recognizing your own mind monsters. Then reject. Make a decision. and take a stand against negativity. One of my mentors, way before I even got into real estate, anybody know who Tommy Hopkins is? Tommy Hopkins, man, he wrote the book, The Art of Sales. I went to a couple of his boot camps, and one of the things that the boot camp is, he has these words that are bad words that you just don't say. They're like negative words, and so you change them. Instead of saying I have a problem, I have a challenge. And what he teaches you is that to reject negativity. And if somebody's being negative in your life, he says literally go up and do this. Bad seed. Bad seed. I'm not listening to that. Bad seed. He's not going to let that negativity plant a seed inside you. Think about this. You sit down for a meal. You got this nice meal sitting in front of you, and you notice a strange object in your food that doesn't look very appetizing. How does that make you feel about consuming that food? Anybody? Is that like, huh? Yeah, you don't really want to do it, right? But how often do we sit at the table of conversation and allow somebody to spew garbage into our lives? And we just take it in, and then pretty soon we're being negative ourselves. We're just letting all that stuff go in. We guard our stomach more than we guard our minds. We got to rehab our minds. Don't let that stuff in. Reject it. Reject the negativity. Reject the bad things. We're constantly bombarded by it. Just don't let it come in. The challenge, though, is once you reject it, you got to replace it. You got to replace it with something good, with good thoughts, that's why I showed you those pictures. Replace the negativity with good things. The how you do help the community, how you can help the economy, especially your own economy. Anybody interested in that? That's what we're all here for, right? We want to help our own economy. That's a great thing about real estate. You can help yourself and help other people. Zig Ziglar, one of the most famous things that one of his famous sayings is, help everybody else, or help somebody else get what they want, and you'll get everything you want. Help other people get what they want, and you'll get everything you want. Is that how it is? Did I say it right? Something like that. Okay, but replace it. Replace the negativity. And then retrain. Now, if you're doing the first three, if you're recognizing it and you're rejecting it and then you replace it, what you're doing is you're retraining your thought pattern. Let's go back to this for a second. The programming. Your programming has to be retrained. And what I've done tonight, my hope tonight, is that I've given you some tools on how to change the programming so you can have the right thoughts. Because I want you to have the thoughts that lead to the right feelings, which are what? What's the right feeling? Faith. I've been talking about it a little bit tonight. Faith. Faith is a feeling. Thoughts lead to feelings. And if you have faith, if you have good feelings, what's the next step? Action. And if you have action, what follows? Results. And how many of you guys are interested in getting a check for $20,000 from a flip that you just did? Right, Sherry? About how much you guys think you'll make on that? About 20. Yeah. If it goes quickly. What do you guys have it listed for? $179.9. You put too much money into it. If you're only going to make 20, we'll talk about that. I had that under contract. I know the numbers on it. I had a lot other good things going on at the same time, so I had to back out because it had nothing to do with the property. It had to do with what I just had a lot going on. I should have wholesaled it though. You probably would have bought it from me if I would have wholesaled it. See, I gotta get on that train of wholesaling. I'm a buyer. I want to buy real estate. I don't think about selling it. So retraining yourself so that you can take action. So thank you guys for tonight, for coming out, for putting up with the technical challenges that we had a little bit at the start. Does anybody have any questions about this, about real estate? Was this inspirational? I mean, my hope is to inspire you to invest in real estate, to have faith to invest in real estate. Does anybody have any questions, comments, feedback?
Really good.
Very good presentation.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, so Deborah's going to hand out some evaluation forms on the preparation part of it. If you want to just totally whack me on that, I'll still stay on the positive train. But we're going to pass out some evaluations here for you to fill out about tonight's meeting. And yeah, feedback. Let me know what you guys thought of this meeting. And it's not going to hurt my feelings if you have some constructive things to say, because really what we want to do is provide good content for our members so that you guys can invest in real estate. And that's our hope. So fill those out and turn them in, and then we're going to do a drawing for a gift card.